Hey everybody, Spectacular, the Silverstacular. As you can see, I have $1 right here on the screen, and it says in silver payable to the bearer on demand. I want $1 in silver payable to me right now because I'm demanding it. And back in the day, you would get something like this. You might get yourself a Morgan dollar or a peace dollar, and you would just trade your paper in for that metal. And it was a grand old time, right? When our money was backed by more than just a promise, it was backed by physical metals, and you could exchange one for the other as you felt like doing. And that gold-backed currency was a strong thing, right? And we have some countries out there, the BRIC nations, that are trying that allegedly too. They're trying to, get past having to need the dollar, and they want to make this strong gold back or precious metals backed currency that that they can end up, basically beating the dollar with. That's the goal for them, right? Really, that's realistically the goal. And many people believe they were going back to a time where gold is money, where silver is money, where your precious metals are going to be what we use, right? Our money is going to be backed by these precious metals. This is an example right here. Obviously, the $20 St. Gaudens Double Eagle. There's a reason why it says $20 on there, because the same thing. You could take this right here and go to the bank and say, hey, I want to trade this in for paper, a $20 gold note. Or vice versa. You could take that $20 gold note and trade it in for one of these, a St. Gaudens Double Eagle. Shoot, if something was 20 bucks, or you could take this and go buy it at your store. If something was $15, you could take this in there and you might get one of these right here, a a half eagle as change. So there you go, a nice little half eagle. And of course there were quarter eagles. Those are $2.50 eagles. And there's also eagles, just a $10 eagle. But you know what I mean? Like, there was a time when that was happening, and people think that we're going back to that time. And this kind of is a video geared towards some of the comments where people say, you got to focus on gold. Focus on only gold right now, because that's where the key is. Because if we do go back to a gold-backed currency, then you're going to want to make sure that you have that gold. Well, let me tell you something, right? And this is my opinion, and I do that on my channel. I give you opinions that I have. But if we do go back to a gold-backed currency, you're going to need this thing right here that's in the middle of the video as well. You're going to need that silver. You're going to need the other metals as well, because historically, if we were on a gold-backed currency, we were also doing silver. It is what it is. Whether you like silver or not, whether you think that because it's been coming down in price that it's a scary time for silver, that it's a waste, it's the time to get it is if you are a believer that gold is going to be the currency of the future. Seriously. Gold's had an epic rise. It's had all-time highs. It's a great feeling. But silver is very affordable, and the fact that it comes down and dips in price and still makes it obtainable for a lot of people is a great thing. And then you can do this crazy thing with silver, right? First of all, this is a 100-ounce brick. This gets to be a little crazy when you have a few of these right here and you start going like, oh man, I can't just take this and just run away, right? If I start getting like 3 of these, I'm really not doing any running. I'm doing a slow crawl. You know what I mean? Like it's a pain. But this wonderful thing can happen when you start to get into the big amounts of silver. You can trade your silver for gold. There's all kinds of people that are willing to do it. It's not a problem. It's not like it's hard to do. Everybody's willing to do it. It's an easy thing. You just say, hey, here's $2,400 or so, depending on when you watch this video, in gold, and I want to take $2,400 or maybe even a little bit more. Maybe you got to make it fair for the other person somehow, make it worth their while. $2,400-ish in silver, and I want to exchange it. I want to go, to have some gold. But you better have some silver. If you are a believer that one day we're going to go to that gold-backed currency, you better also have some silver, because you will need it. If you go to your grocery store and you say, hey, I need just 1 little gallon of milk. We drank all the milk. I'm going to need 1 gallon of milk. And this is again, if we do go back to that time where we have a gold-backed currency and you go in there with this right here trying to get a gallon of milk, you're not going to want to do that. It's way too much money. It's like just ridiculous. So you're going to want to go in there with something like this. a nice 1962 90% silver quarter, and that might be your bread money, right? That might be your milk money. That might be your small purchase money. Who knows how that ratio may end up in the future, but that might be your smaller purchase. You're going to need your silver, and maybe you don't need the 100-ounce brick. This might be just for fun, but you're going to need smaller pieces. You're going to need your 1-ounce silver coins. You're also going to need, and this is going to be a little bit controversial, you're going to also need things like your copper. Because historically, if gold was money, then so too was things like copper. Actually, I don't know if you know this, but our currency and other world's currencies are made of all kinds of different metals. Zinc, aluminum, all kinds of different things out there. Obviously platinum, palladium, we know those. Shoot, there's rhodium pieces, that are bars, and all kinds of different things out there, metal-wise, was used in currency. And if you believe truly that we are going to a gold-backed currency, if it's coming, if the time is right around the corner, then you better be stacking the other metals too. You don't have to go crazy. You don't have to have, the same amount of money that you have in one into the other. I think that for me, when people ask, they're like, okay, do you know how much value you have in the different metals? I really don't. I don't, catalog it like that. Maybe you do, and that's your strategy. Nothing wrong with that. I think it's probably a good idea. I just don't stack like that. I'm sorry. Hate me if you must. But, I know that a majority of my value is in the gold game. But that doesn't mean that I don't have a healthy stack of silver. It doesn't mean that I don't have what I feel, for me, is a healthy stack of copper. I believe that if you are a stacker, right, if you are truly going to get into the stacking game, there's more than one metal, always. That's just the way it's going to be if you truly believe that there is going to be a time when this stuff becomes your everyday money again. Let's be honest. In copper, it's hard to stack. It's hard to stack. I mean, these are just like 1 ounces? No, these are 5 ounce. So it's 5 ounce copper cubes. It gets to be a lot. They take up a lot of room. They're hard to have a lot without just flooding your area with that particular metal. And then silver becomes kind of unbearable too when it gets to be around this level right here, and you start stacking a bunch of those. So, you got to make the exchange how it works for you, and you might have to end up trading one for another at some point. But you got to make it work for you, and I've made it work for me. But for the people out there that say like only focus on gold, I think that that's a mistake. I think that if you truly believe what gold stands for, that you got to get into the other metals too. And there's a lot of potential in silver compared to gold, in my opinion. Gold's been doing great though. Gold, I'm not going to take anything away from gold. It's, record highs. It's doing very good. If you invested in gold back in a few years ago when I was trying to do the gold challenge, trying to convince everybody to buy gold every single month, you probably are really enjoying your time right now. But that being said, silver doing its little drops that it does, $5 dips here and there, what an opportunity. What an opportunity to continue into what you should be believing in, which is grabbing all the metals. And then when silver starts to do better, you can do this crazy thing where you just play the ratio game and you just go ahead and trade it for gold. Do I do that? No, I don't do that game. I just keep on buying all of it, here and there when I can. But that is always an option for me, and it's always an option for you. So listen, I'm just saying, if you truly believe that gold is going to one day be the currency of the future, again, which is a take on what happened in the past, then you better believe about the other metals too. You better believe it. Anyways, let me know down in the comments, just if you really, really think that one day this stuff is going to be the currency of the future again. I'm just kind of curious. I got to go for now. I appreciate you for watching. Spegtacular is out. You got to clap at me. You going to clap me for it? Well, hello, everybody. I seek to educate and entertain through my journey of collecting coins and stacking precious metals. I encourage you to subscribe, and please stay with me on this journey. I am Spegtacular, the Silver Stacular. You know, when I was a kid, we did this every day in school, and I believe we need to bring this back a little bit, and I'm going to start right now. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.